Welcome back to another episode of the Sacred Sisterhood Podcast. And I am actually just recording this at 2:22 p.m., which makes me pretty excited that that's just how the stars aligned today. Today I wanted to talk with you ladies about how to open up to connecting with your galactic origins to receive the activations, the healings, and the messages and guidance that you require for soul purpose alignment at this time. Because if you're listening to this, if you've been following me, you are attracted to the frequency that I emit. And the frequency that I emit is very much galactic, very much starseed. And so you're attracted to the vibrational resonance because you probably are a starseed as well. You know, and so what I mean by a starseed, which I'm sure you already know if you've already been following me for a while, but your soul has been seeded from other galaxies, from other planets, and your soul agreed to come down to Earth to assist with this great shift that we're actually going through right now, to usher in the golden age, to assist with the dismantling of these systems that are built on corruption and greed, to make way for these new earth systems of equality, of harmony and peace to be put into play. In fact, your soul has been training for lifetimes to prepare for this very lifetime. Your soul has lived through karmic loops and thousands of years of really difficult times in order so that you could have everything that you needed within you to bring to the planet now, basically. Like, we all hold these like frequencies and these codes and these ancient templates and ancient wisdom and medicine within us that has been stored in our DNA, that has been stored in our bones and our cells from our past lives, from the stars that we are seeded from, in order to bring to the planet, to Gaia, to humanity at this time, to assist with this great awakening that we're going through. And so I felt really, really guided today, especially after I went through a very, very beautiful journey to Orion's Belt this morning in my meditation, to do a quick podcast of my top 11 tips of how you can open up to contact, to receive guidance from your galactic origins, so that you can receive the guidance and the codes and the medicine, the healings really, that your energy field, your soul requires at this time to align with your soul's mission. Okay, so number one, the best way I have found to be able to expand my frequency, expand and clear my channel enough to be able to make that contact and feel the stars is by getting myself into a playful frequency first. And I do that by moving. And I'm not talking about working out or anything. I'm talking about just putting on a song and dancing it out, or giving my body a really good shake, like just shaking out all of my body. What that does is it basically begins to move out some of the stagnancy that my energy field is carrying, which makes way. It basically clears my channel, moves the energy to make way for new energy to come in. Because the energy that we're attuning our energy to, the bandwidth, the frequency is much higher. It's a much higher frequency than what we experience here on Earth. So we want to expand and open and clear our channel to be able to expand our frequency enough to make contact with the higher dimensional beings. And they have to lower their frequency to kind of like meet us in the middle. So we're expanding, opening, raising our frequency, and they're lowering their frequency to make contact. Okay, so I also just want to preface and say, don't get discouraged if you don't make contact your first try. This sometimes will take practice. It depends on how tuned in and how clear your energy channel is. For me, it took like really focusing on clearing my channel to be able to make this contact. Okay, so number 2. Oh yeah, let's go back into the playful frequency. So these are higher dimensional beings that are super playful and super joyful and super like cheerful. They laugh a lot. They're incredible beings. And us humans, we they are actually fascinated by humans' capacity to experience emotions. You know, the drama, the chaos, the hardship, the heartbreak. They are very, very fascinated with our capacity to experience the emotions of high and low. But they don't really want to talk to a super serious human, because why would they contact a super serious human when they could have fun and giggle with like a playful human, right? And so getting yourself into a playful frequency, which when you do call your higher self in, you tend to become more playful and cheerful naturally as those energies come in. That helps to open your channel so that you can expand your frequency to be able to make contact, okay? So number 2, set your intention of where you want to travel to. So you could already kind of be feeling the vibe that, you know, you might be more interested in Sirius or the Pleiades or Orion. You might be starting to kind of like feel out like, okay, I'm really like tuned into those frequencies. That's probably where my soul is from. Or if you don't know where you're from and you don't know specifically where you want to travel to, just ask your higher self and galactic team, because even if you haven't met your galactic team, they're still there supporting you, okay? So ask your higher self and your galactic team of the highest light and unconditional love for you to take you on a journey to a place in the stars that is in most alignment with what your soul and energy field needs right now. So maybe they're going to take you to where your soul is seated from. Maybe they're going to take you to a planet or star system that you lived a couple lifetimes on. Maybe there's some other place that you need to go at that time. So just set your intention, and always just set the intention to receive the activation or the transmission of the purest love and highest frequencies by governance of your higher self that is for your highest good. That way you're setting the intention that no funky kind of like negative entities, I don't really even like to say negative entities, but just no dark energies are welcome in your field. You're setting the intention that this is of the light and that you're opening yourself up to receiving the activation that will best serve you at this time. Okay, so you might not receive actual messages. You might receive activations and codes in a healing or a frequency that your soul needs at this time to bring down to earth. So surrender what you think it's going to be like and just be open, okay? That way you don't block whatever needs to come through, okay? So number 3, get down on your meditation pillow, have your spine as straight as you possibly can, but be comfortable, like have your belly soft, right? And listen to some binaural frequencies on your earbuds that is going to help elevate your, like basically shift your brain waves to expand your frequency so that you can connect, okay? Number 4, call in your higher self and your guides and ask that they assist you in surrendering your ego mind and assist you in expanding your bandwidth of frequency to make contact. Okay, so there's going to be, your higher self wants this for you. You wouldn't be listening to this podcast otherwise. So obviously you're feeling the call. She wants this for you. She's going to help you make it happen. And then there's other beings, there's other guides that want to assist you and protect you and guide you along the way. This morning when I went to Orion's Belt, I called in Isis and I called in Osiris, the ancient Egyptian goddess and god, to walk with me, to guide me, to take me. I also called in the dolphins and the whales to escort me, because they are Isis is from the planet Sirius, which I am from as well. I also have spent many lifetimes on Pleiades, and funny enough, what I learned today, I also spent a couple lifetimes on Orion. And the star system of Orion is associated through ancient Egyptian culture as the planet of Osiris. And Osiris and Isis were like the tantric union, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, the divine mother, divine father, God. So I had both my feminine counterpart, Isis, and I had the divine masculine counterpart, Osiris, escorting me to Orion's Belt. And the reason why I was taken there was that yesterday I received a healing from, you guys should all check out Natoya Hall. She goes by Minima, Minnie, Minyma, on Facebook. I receive a healing from her once a month. I have for the past year, every single month, and she has expanded me massively. She's activated me massively in my star lineage with the work that I'm here to do and so forth. So anyways, when she was doing a healing on me yesterday, she said Orion is coming through very strong, and I hadn't ever connected with Orion before. So I learned today when I did travel to Orion that I learned that this is a planet of Osiris, the divine masculine, and that I had spent some lifetimes on there. So, yeah, and the dolphins and the whales, they are beings from Sirius. So it was just like this beautiful kind of entourage that like assisted me with getting to where I needed to go today. So number 4 is call in your higher self and your guides and just ask that they assist you in surrendering your ego mind and expanding that bandwidth of frequency. Okay. Number 5, root down. Before you start traveling through the cosmos, I want you to connect deeply with Gaia. Send your grounding cord from your root chakra down into the core crystal of Gaia or your tree roots, however you see it, because it's awesome to travel through the cosmos, but it's important that we be grounded and rooted in our bodies and our earthly experience so we can bring down those codes and frequencies from the galactics to bring them down into Gaia, into her grid. So root down first. Number 6 is I'm going to share with you what I do, which has been very helpful for me. I've tried all sorts of things, but this is what works tried and true for me. So I begin to open up my energy field. Once I'm rooted down, once I feel completely like connected, grounded, secure, safe, protected, all of it. Well, it's not so much a protection thing. Like when you set the intention of light and love, like that's just what you get, right? I begin to open up my energy field and I begin to see all white. Like I basically completely clear my channel. I clear out all thoughts. I empty myself out and I call in light and I just expand my channel and expand my vessel and just keep calling in more light. And basically I'm seeing like my antenna, my bandwidth of frequency expanding. Okay, so at this point, once I feel like completely filled with light and everything's just, like I start to get to the point that I can feel myself wanting to take off. I can feel my guides wanting to bring me somewhere. It's kind of like your body's the spaceship and you get to the point once you've called in so much light and cleared your channel so much that your spaceship is like, okay, we've cleared out the density. Let's go up, right? So number 7 is I let myself take off. I let myself go on the journey, go on a travel, and I have my guides take me. Okay. And number 8 is imagination. Allow your imagination to take you on this journey. The imagination gets you started, and then there gets to be a point where the whole journey just takes it and runs with it, and then you're in the experience and you're just going with it. Okay, so this is something that I learned when I was in my shamanic initiation last year, was when you're doing a shamanic journey is you start with your imagination. Say you're traveling to the underworld and I'm walking through some trees, and you just allow your imagination to play around. And if you think the thought, oh, I'm making this up, just say, yeah, I am. So what? It's fun. And then eventually what happens is it's kind of like you're pulling an arrow back in a bow and arrow, and you're pulling it back, and that's your imagination, that's your imagination kind of taking you on the journey. And then there gets to be a point where you let go, and then the arrow shoots forward and is traveling, and that's the point where spirit has taken you and is taking you on this journey. You get to just receive and experience and go along with the flow, right? So allow your imagination to see the stars zipping by, to see the clouds zipping by, to, take yourself to some random planet, wherever it is, which is perfect, and see the beautiful purples and the blues and the cosmic pinks and see the stars, just whatever. Like, allow yourself to explore and have fun. And then there gets to be a point, because if you've already set the intention that this is what you're here to do, you're here to connect with your galactic origin or the specific star system, to receive guidance, to receive healings, to receive a transmission that will support you on your soul's journey. There'll be a point where it just takes off from there. Okay? So number 9 is once you arrive to wherever you're going, just receive. Just receive. Be open. Don't try to force anything. And if you're just laying in like a temple on a planet watching the stars go by and that's all that's happening, that's still a lot. You are receiving the frequencies of wherever you went. You set the intention to receive, and even if, because I mean, as we're like just starting this journey, as we're just really opening up our channel, it takes practice and time again to really be able to connect and go on the full experience of the journey. But you're still receiving, because you are a multidimensional being. And even if you're not hearing or seeing anything, you're still receiving the frequencies because you've set the intention to open yourself up to. So just receive. And if your imagination is just creating things, that's amazing. You know, have a question in mind that you want to ask once you feel like you're where you want to be. You know, like what is the next step that I can do to align me further with my soul's mission? Something like that. Something very broad and open, and just open yourself up to receiving. Don't try to force a message to come through. Know that you're downloading that message even if you're not hearing it. Your vessel is downloading it for it to bubble up in your awareness in the right time. So just trust that you're receiving the frequencies, the activations, the healings, the codes, the messages that your energy needs at this time. So just receive, enjoy. You know, this morning when I shot up to Orion's belt and I was laying on this beautiful, it was like this, there was a lot of like deep midnight royal blue colors with a lot of gold shimmers happening, and I was watching the stars, and I was laying in this temple, but it didn't have a roof over top of it. It was just pillars, and like the walls were open. And as I was receiving the frequencies and the transmission that I was needing, I also, in my physical body, was feeling a lot of womb opening. Like there was a mad amount of vibrations happening in my womb. So I obviously was feeling a womb frequency or a womb healing. I was experiencing a womb healing in that time, an activation, right? So just receive. You might be able to have full conversations with beings. You know, you might not be able to your first couple times that you journey into the galactics, but as you practice, as you continue to make it known and shown that you want to have this relationship, it's going to come a lot easier and faster for you. Like for me, I'm going to be honest with you, it took me like months of showing up, sitting down on my meditation pillow, playing around with it, cleaning up my diet so that my channel was clear, to be able to like fully have conversations. I would get little like breadcrumbs, but to fully be able to have conversations, it took a lot of time and practice. Whereas other people are a lot more tuned in and tapped in, based on just how their channel is, based on everybody's different. You know, for me, I had a lot of density in my body, and I come from a family that I don't know any spiritual beings. Like I don't know any. In my family line, I don't know any kind of spiritual open people. So, like, I was carrying a lot of density from my family. I'm from a Mennonite background. And so I just had, a lot of ancestral kind of density that was blocking me from being able to really fully open up to this. Even though it was in my awareness, I wanted to fully open up to it. I just was there was, a lot of blocks for me to move through to be able to be a clear enough vessel to receive those high frequencies. Okay, so just honor yourself with wherever you're at. Don't try to force and don't try to push it. Surrender and trust. Okay, so number 10, when you feel complete, because you will get to a point where it's like, oh, okay, I think I'm done here. Like I've received what I wanted to receive. I'm ready to get back down into my body. I want you to intentionally bring those frequencies that you experience up in the other realms down with you down into your body, and really settling yourself down into your root chakra. This helps you completely come back into your body. And when you intentionally bring those frequencies down into your root chakra, you're bringing them into the earthly realm so that you can plant them into the grid of Gaia so that you can offer them to Gaia. It's not like you're handing it over, giving it away, but more so it's like, hey, I received these awesome frequencies and I'm sure it's going to greatly benefit you with your ascension, Gaia. So here, let me share them with you. Let me offer it to you. So that's number 11, is to just ground back down into Gaia and just share these frequencies with her, knowing that just by you being present in your body and intentionally plugging back into the core crystal of Gaia, you are allowing these frequencies you received and the codes that you received to plant down into Gaia to assist her. Okay, so those are my top 11 tips, but I am going to give you just a couple other things to think about. So I kind of covered this already, but the cleaner that you eat with your foods, right? If you eat foods that have a lot of life force energy, naturally your channel is just going to be a lot more open because your channel isn't holding on to like the gunk and the density of processed foods. So, I mean, this has been a huge journey for me this past year and a little bit. Is real. I mean, it's still a journey, but really cleaning up my diet. And I mean, I've been a vegetarian for a few years, but it was more so like, that the late night munchies, that was where I was kind of having a hard time letting go of. And the week before my period, I would experience a lot of cravings for cheese and stuff. So basically, alcohol, processed food, gluten, meat, dairy, all of those really gunk up, and sugar, obviously, really gunk up your channel. Whereas other people, like, I know people that eat really awful. I don't want to say awful, that's not really nice. They eat a lot of processed foods, and they are super tuned in and able to receive lots of galactic downloads and insights. So everybody's different, but for me, I know that like my channel feels gunky and not as clear when I'm not eating very well. So I support my body with a lot of green juices. I eat a lot of fruit. I get a lot of my protein from nuts and beans. And when I do have pasta, I make sure it's gluten-free. I eat vegan cheese. I mean, the week before my period, I'll be more inclined to eat real cheese. But the cheese here, I live in Austria, and their quality of cheese is totally different than like out west in America and Canada. The way that an animal is handled is totally different here. So the frequency isn't so commercialized. It's like your little happy goat living in a happy farmer's field. Like think of like the movie Heidi. Like that's where I live. Like all the cows have bells on their necks, and there's like small herds on the mountaintops and in the lush mountain fields, and they're all really well taken care of. And so it's a totally different vibe, right? Because the animal carries the frequency, or the food that you receive from the animal carries the frequency, right? So, which also kind of goes into like everything that we expose ourselves to, right? Like I clean my house with a vinegar and water solution rather than hefty duty chemicals. And I've been doing this for years because I have a dog and she licks her paws a lot. I don't want her to be licking like really chemically residue from her walking across the floor. But I mean, that goes into like your shampoos, your conditioners and so forth. Like I'm currently on a journey where I'm trying to find reef-friendly shampoo and conditioner and soaps and stuff so that I can be making less of an impact on our oceans. Because even though I live in the middle of Europe, really far from the ocean, all water is connected, so it all goes back to the ocean, right? And anything that's bad for the ocean is bad for our bodies, right? It can cause cancer. It can really block our DNA from activating. Our food is very much riddled with frequencies and toxins that are designed to keep our DNA from activating, right? Because we have carbon-based DNA that is activating into a crystalline-based DNA. That's our light body activating. This is our spiritual gifts coming online. And the Matrix, right, these dark agendas don't want us to wake up, to unplug ourselves from the Matrix. They want us to be enslaved to the system. And so they put things in our foods to try to keep us blocked from knowing our truth, from remembering our sovereignty and claiming that. So eating as clean as possible really helps support in you being a clear, open channel and open conduit for these higher frequencies of the galactics. And this comes down to our water as well, right? Like there's fluoride that is put in our tap water that keeps our third eye from decalcifying and opening up. So try to drink fluoride-free water. Supercharge your water on Earth, in bottles on Earth, or sun charge it or moon charge it. Put rose quartz in it, add flower petals to it, add herbs to it, just to help bring your water to life. We want to feed our bodies high frequency life force foods to support us in expanding our bandwidth of frequency so we can hold more light and be more light, right? As well as just being mindful of what you take in through social media, through TV, through Netflix. There's tons of programming through TV, which I'm sure you're aware of it, that a lot of like subliminal messages will come through TV, through mainstream media, mainstream music. So it's just to be really mindful of what you're ingesting that way as well. And just keep practicing, keep trying to make contact. They have to lower their frequency in order to like meet you halfway as you're expanding your frequency. So sometimes you're not going to hit it the first few times. So just keep practicing. By you practicing and showing your star team that you want to receive this connection, you want this connection, they're going to help you get there. Just keep showing up, be committed to it. Okay, so... And it's just really, really important to ground, right? There's a reason why you want to travel and receive these codes from the galactics. It's because you, Starseed, are supposed to bring them back to Gaia. You're supposed to weave them into the work, the offerings that you're bringing into the world. You're supposed to be carrying these codes in order to activate the collective and activate the grids of Gaia, right? And so... it's just very important that, because as Starseed, like, it's very easy for us to stay floating up in our upper chakras because we associate like the solar plexus, sacral, and root chakra, our lower chakras, as very dense, because that's where those are our physical earthly realm chakras, and so they carry a lot of density, a lot of trauma in them, so we tend to kind of avoid to want to be in them. But reality is we need to be down in our body and claim our space in our body, because this is our ability to manifest into the physical, into the material world, so that we can create the heaven on earth realities for ourselves. That is our birthright, that we know we have the capability of, but we have to have that like powerful connection with our root, with our earthly home, in order to ground these frequencies and be able to create with them, right? So this is why I've actually channeled the Grounded Starseed. It's a 3-week digital course to support you in grounding into your body and grounding into earth, so that for your soul's mission's clarity, alignment, and so that you can finally follow through with your vision. Because it's very easy as us starseeds to be all up in our meditations, creating in the quantum fabric, but when it comes to actually showing up and following through with that, we tend to kind of miss the mark, because we're not fully present and grounded in our bodies and on earth. We associate earth with being very dense, being a scary place, and so we struggle to really claim our space. We're afraid to be seen, we're afraid to take up space. So the Grounded Starseed is a 3-week course to support you in feeling safe in your body, feeling safe in your lower chakras, so that you can claim your space, you can claim your soul mission, and you can be a greater embodiment of your higher self, right? Like as we come into our lower chakras, we're going to be clearing out that density that's been making you feel unsafe, so that you can hold more light. As we hold more light, we're able to hold more of our higher self. And with that, being able to embody more of our higher self, everything just comes a lot more naturally. I need a drink. Hold on uno momento. So when we're embodying more of our higher self, naturally that clarity and that drive to show up for our soul's purpose, our soul's mission, even if you don't know at this time what that is, you just know that, you're here to assist. You are here to assist the planet. You're here to assist humanity at this time, even if you don't quite know what that means yet. You don't quite know what that looks like yet. Becoming more of an embodiment of your higher self will open you up more to that clarity around what it is that your soul is here to do at this lifetime. Because you are here for a reason. You have a soul's mission. You have a soul's purpose. So this course is really going to help support you in claiming that, right? And it's going to also expand your ability to receive. When we come into deeper relationship with our temple space body, we experience more pleasure, we experience more joy, we experience more abundance, more bliss. We're able to attract the tools, the resources, the money, the people into our lives and our experience to help support us in what we're here to do. Okay, so this is to help assist you in creating that heaven on earth experience that you know is your birthright, right? So we're going to be weaving in teachings around the divine masculine, divine feminine, coming into sacred union with them. The masculine is very much about helping the feminine feel safe in her body so that the feminine can do her magic of creating, of channeling, and so forth. He grounds, he contains her energy, he protects her energy so that she can be a clear, open channel, a vessel to channel her energy through. We're going to be weaving in teachings about alchemizing self-abandonment into self-reverence and self-love. We're going to be talking about radical boundaries. We're going to be talking about deepening our connection with the Great Mother, and that from that place is where our abundance comes from. Like, we're not doing this alone. We're not doing this alone. We are so supported. We're so provided for. It's really about us opening ourselves up to receiving that and plugging into source, the Great Mother. Right? So this is going to really support you in showing up, following through to do what you came here to do. Okay? So don't worry if you don't know what your soul's mission is. This is going to help give you clarity. It's going to help opening up your channel more so that you can receive that clarity and that guidance of what the next step is. Okay? So I'm offering it at a very, very low price to make it attainable for all star seeds that resonate with this frequency. I'm offering it for only $144 US. $144 US. And I'm telling you, the value that you will receive is well beyond $999, like well beyond. But I was really guided to by my team that this is to be a very, very low offering with high value. So $144 US. It's on sale right now. Regular price will probably be $333 US the next time that I'm offering this course. I'm also offering it a payment plan of 3 payments of $50 US every other week. And we're going to be having a live opening and live closing ceremony done through Zoom. So we get that like interactive experience. The live ceremony is also going to be including breathwork, which will really support you in blasting open your channel. It's going to be super, super awesome. And also to just make way for that, all these teachings to really integrate in. Then we have 3 weeks. So we have each week there will be a video that will be released on the course portal. The videos will range probably about 45 minutes, give or take. And then there will also be a guided meditation for you to listen to support you for integrating throughout the week. And there will also be, like some tools and some journaling and just some homework and stuff that I will weave in throughout the experience. So the doors close on July 11th. July 11th, okay? And the opening ceremony... Oh, sorry. Let me start again. The doors close July 10th, opening ceremony July 11th. The first video will be coming out July 13th. So I will be leaving a link in the show notes for you to check out the Grounded Starseed. And I'm really, really excited to support you and assisting you, Starseed, and really grounding into your body so you can do what you came here to do. So I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you so much for listening to this super awesome episode. I hope you had as much fun as I did. And just play around, experiment. This is what works for me. Maybe you need to tweak some things so that it works for you, but just have fun, be excited, and be playful. And I'm sending you so much love. And I hope to see you in the Grounded Starseed. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful weekend, a beautiful full moon. Much love. Bye for now.